Yes.
Bears are at the top of the food chain, have the power and ability to maim or kill any of us. Our next speaker estimates that he has seen about 50 bear sightings and encounters. All of these have been exciting, and a few have been rather scary. While he enjoys many outdoor activities, canoeing is his favorite because of the ability to go easily to very remote areas. He has gone on several long canoe trips in northern Canada. With his speech tonight, he will discuss one eventful bear encounter and a lesson on facing your fears. Please help me welcome Dean Kurth with his speech entitled, The Bear.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Some years ago, my wife and I were lazily paddling down a river in northern Canada when we saw something on the shore. I pointed with my paddle and said, "What's that?" My adventuresome wife, Karen, replied from the back of the boat, "I don't know. Let's go have a look." So she steered us over to shore. As we got to shore, our eyes rested on an unsettling sight, a recently killed caribou. It wasn't clear exactly what had killed it, but a bear was a likely candidate. My eyes scanned the bloody carnage, the strewn entrails, the glassy eyes. Karen soberly said, "That could be us." What rattled? And lacking a witty reply, I simply said, "It could." Normally, us humans are at the top of the food chain out in the wilderness, but that presumes that we have a gun or a weapon with which to protect ourselves. I've never carried a gun into the wilderness, partly because they're heavy, and partly because our friends to the north seem to have some issues with us Yanks running around their country with loaded weapons. Imagine that. We do carry a can of bear mace. But bear mace is only good for a distance of maybe 5 or 10 feet. And I'm not anxious to try it out on an angry, hungry, charging bear if the wind isn't blowing the right direction. Consequently, we're pretty careful about bears. Northern Canada is truly wilderness. We've gone as long as 3 weeks without seeing anybody up there. There aren't very many roads either. We were really on our own on this trip because we didn't yet have a personal locator beacon with which to call for any kind of help. If we would have lost our canoe, our food, or our gear, it would have been a serious problem, potentially fatal. So we're always very careful and go to great lengths to avoid bears. A few days after the caribou incident, we were camped on a beautiful oval-shaped lake about a mile long, ringed with sandy beaches, gorgeous woods. One of the principles of bear avoidance is to camp well away from your food cache. So we put the tent way back in the forest. We piled our food and gear we wouldn't need for the night at the edge of the forest and the beach, and we put pots and pans and paddles on top, with the idea that if a bear disturbed the pile, it would fall down and make noise, and we'd wake up. Wake up and do what? I had no idea, really. We had none at the time. So about 1 o'clock in the morning that night, Karen whacks me awake and utters the single word, "Bear." If there's one thing better than 100 cups of Starbucks coffee for waking up, it's the single word "bear," spoken in the middle of the night in the middle of the northern Canadian wilderness. As I sat upright and my foggy brain cleared, I could hear it. Splash, splash. Roar. Karen said, "What do we do?" "I don't know." "Did you hear the pots fall?" "No." "Well, we can't sit here. There's no way I'm going to be able to go back to sleep. We've got to go look." And of course, her being more of a risk taker than I am, immediately agreed, "Yeah, let's go look." We put a jacket on, slipped on our boots, grabbed a can of bear mace for whatever good that was going to do us, and we crept out of the tent. As we tiptoed through the twilight in the forest, visions of that caribou mixed with visions of eating boiled pine needles for the next week in my mind. Snap, crackle, crunch. Karen annoyed, "Can't you walk quieter?" "No, why don't you go look? I'll go guard the tent." After that unmanly comment, we were soon at the edge of the forest, and we were met by two beautiful, wonderful sights. The first was our pile of food and gear, untouched. So far. Splash, splash. Roar. It wasn't as close as we thought it was. It was maybe a quarter mile away. I pointed through the gloom as if I needed to point. "There it is. Is it coming closer?" "I can't tell." We stood and watched it for a few more seconds. Needless to say, we weren't prattling about anything at that point. Splash, splash. Roar. At some point, a little voice started to speak to me in the back of my brain, and it said, "I don't know if that's a bear." I looked. I go to Karen, "I think it's a moose." She goes, "Yeah, it is." Now, a moose can be a dangerous creature, but it isn't going to eat our food, and it isn't going to attack us unless we directly threaten us. So relief washed over us like a warm shower on a cold morning. We embraced each other and watched the scene as the moose got into the lake and started to swim across it. Eventually, our weariness from the previous day's efforts pulled us back into the tent like the gravity from an enormous black hole, and we went back to sleep. The following morning, in the bright light of the sun, the whole thing seemed like a cruel comedy. But I learned one thing, or I had one thing reaffirmed, and that is my belief that you always need to confront your fears, even if it's just to run farther into the woods. And if you're lucky, you may find out that that nasty, dangerous bear is really just a moose.